I'm feeling massive resistance to doing this today, but I've only got 3 small spaces left to tackle in this room, and then this entire master bedroom will be done. I will have gone through it with a fine tooth comb and decluttered pretty much everything that I am even remotely ready to part with. Let's go. Hey, how's it going? It's Laura, and there are only 2 things that I'm going to be removing from this space. I'm not even going to be decluttering them, I'm just going to be moving them elsewhere. One is, you can't even see it, it's behind this mirror, which is in desperate need of dusting, but it is just an A4 sheet of paper that has information about my harp, which will be staying, also in need of dusting, and honestly playing. It's been quite a while. So I think I'm going to be moving that just in here into the dresser. The other thing I'm going to be moving is this kind of phone tripod. Okay, so the reason I keep this up here is because I record daily vlogs. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen them. So to save me from having to schlep a tripod from downstairs all the way up here, I just keep one up here. But so we have cleaners that come once a week, and I often wonder what goes through their head when they see that I have a tripod in my room. And sometimes, hasn't happened for a while, but sometimes when I'm recording a video, if it's going to be like a multi-day process, I will leave my lights in this room as well if I'm recording in here or in the closet or something. So I'm sure they come over sometimes and they see that in my bedroom I have like a tripod and lights and stuff set up, and they must at least pause and wonder what's going on. Actually, a few years ago, I was recording something in the bedroom. My husband was at work, and I went to have a shower. Like, I'd been recording for a while, I went to have a shower, and I thought to myself, if my husband came home now, because I had the camera set up in the room, it was pointed towards the bed because I was filming at the side of the bed. I had the lights set up also pointed at the bed, and because I'd gone to have a shower, I had like taken off my clothes. My clothes were like strewn on the bed. But yeah, every week when the cleaners come, I'm thinking they must be at least curious. And honestly, it doesn't go with like the decor. I don't like having it here. And then it occurred to me, right outside our bedroom door, we have a linen closet, very easily accessible, but it's behind closed doors and I don't have to see it, nor does anyone else who comes to visit my house. The life of a YouTuber. It's a strange one. Happened to casually mention to my husband once, we were actually talking to a neighbor, and I had said that one of the things I had always wanted to do was to learn how to play the harp. Just one of those beautiful instruments. And guess what he got me for Christmas that year? So I was using YouTube videos to teach myself how to play it, and I made like some progress. And yeah, I looked up then to see if I could do in-person classes, because I figured that was going to be the best way to learn. Like, there's only so much YouTube can teach you really. But I couldn't find any locally. I'm guessing the harp is not massively popular in Cincinnati, but I would really love to get proper lessons. This one's definitely a joy sparker. Space 2, my husband's side of the bed. This one has been bugging me for quite a while. The nightstand, there's just a lot of stuff on it that does not need to be here. Empty bottles and such, and it's particularly been bothering me since I did my nightstand over here, because that is now pristine. But the real bugbear for me here is the cords and cables sprawled all over the floor. I want to see what I can do about that. The clothes are just going to go into the laundry room. I don't think he's going to let me declutter, like get rid of anything that's up here. Hopefully he'll be fine with me tidying this up. As I did in the last one, I'm going to text him pictures of all of the stuff on it, tell him what I think we can get rid of. I won't be going through the drawers. That's like his personal space, won't be doing that. I did ask him though. I wasn't going to do it on camera, but he said no, so respect his decision. And I'm gonna see if I can like move the charging cable just so it's not sprawled all over the floor. Okay, these are staying, but I'm going to be moving them. So these 2 will move down to his office, and this will just go back into the kitchen, needs to be washed and then put back. These then I'm basically just getting rid of. These 2 can be recycled, and then this I mean, I'll donate it, but I honestly don't know who will want it. But yeah, these are going. And so the only thing that is left up here then is his Kindle. Oh, it feels so much better now that that's done. But final space. I do have a question for you, but I'm going to leave it till the end because I think you'll be able to make a more informed decision once I've actually finished this. This one, okay, I will say this space doesn't normally look quite so bad. I don't normally have books here beside me on the floor, but I go through cycles where I have all of the library books, like just a bajillion. And then I try and tackle them, whittle them down, I'll read through them, I'll put myself on a little kind of library ban for a while until I can get through the bulk of these. And then I just build them all back up again. Not only do I have a huge amount of library books, physical books that I own, but also a massive amount of ebooks. What is in my pocket? I have dog treats in my pocket. I said that quietly because she's lying on the bed over there, and if she hears the word, she will wake up. How long have those been sitting in the life of a pet owner? Anyway, I really need to get serious with myself about which ones I'm actually going to read. There are so many books out there, I can't read them all, much as it pains me, so I have to focus on the ones that I'm actually excited to read, the ones that I actually want to read. But I do want to read all the books, all the time. Okay, I've divided things into 3 piles. This is books that I own, these are library books, and then this is just a random pile of stuff. If you watch my nightstand video, I mentioned an old iPad that I had. That is that very same iPad. The library books are kind of a little bit different in the sense that I know these are temporary, like I know all of these will be returned eventually, whether I've read them or not. So in that sense, it would probably be easy for me to just keep these and think, well, they'll be going back eventually. But no, I need to get strict with myself. Like this many library books. First of all, I'm depriving someone else of these books. So if you remember the questions that I'm going to be asking myself, does it spark joy? Does the thought of reading it bring me joy? Then the old Swedish death clean question, do I want to leave this for my daughter to have to deal with after I'm gone? Is there some way that I can dispose of this responsibly now, recycle it, reuse it or whatever, instead of just letting it end up in a landfill at some point in the future? And do I want to move with this? Like, do I want to? Particularly books, because they're so bulky and they're so heavy. Do I want to pack this up and move across the Atlantic with it? I'm sure most of these, once I've read them, I will be fine to let go of. But, this is, I'm just going to dive in because I could talk about this for ages, but we need to actually do something here. So let's go through them. Let's put all of these thoughts and ideas and principles and questions actually into action. Okay, I'm happy with the progress I've made here, but before I show you, I wanted to share another tip that really helps me to let go of a lot more physical books, and that is to search my library's app and see if they have a copy of it, whether it be a physical copy or a digital copy. If they do, I will add it to my wish list. Then I feel better about letting go of the physical copy, whether that's returning a copy to the library or if it's a book I own, just donating that. By the by, these things, book darts, are wonderful because they allow me to mark a page. Let me see, I think I have this book. You can see my little book darts to mark important things, and then afterwards I can go back and just type up my notes. Those are definitely staying. I will have a link to them in the description. Oh, and one of my holds is ready. Yay! Okay, so these are the library books that I am keeping for now until I read them. This stack here is the library books that I'm going to be returning. So the bottom 2 are ones that I had just decided I was returning. These 3 I found ebook versions of them, so I'm going to return the physical copies, and then these ones are books that I own that I'm going to be donating. This then is a pile of stuff that I'm just going to be recycling. This stuff here is stuff that I'm not keeping all of it. So this is a ring. I'm definitely keeping this ring. This is going back in the jewelry box. This is a card that one of you sent to me. Thank you, Stacey. I keep all of your cards, in case you ever wondered. I do keep them all and I love them all, and thank you so much. And then the iPad. So I talked about this in a previous video that I was going to wipe it and then bring it back to the Apple store to be recycled. But it turns out my next door neighbor, her son, she's been thinking about getting him some form of tablet. She doesn't want to, like buy him a brand new one or anything. It's just for small things that he might need it for. And I just happened to mention that I had a really old one that, was still perfectly functional and stuff, and that I could just wipe it and give it to her if she wanted. So she is thrilled with that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wipe that. This then is stuff that I'm just going to be donating. A phone case. I don't like phone cases at all. Can't deal with them. This is a bookmark. I do like it, but it's just a little bit awkward. It's to hold a book open, but it marks books. So when you're putting it in, it actually leaves dents on the pages, which I don't like. So I'm going to be letting that one go also. These are the random bits and bobs that I'm keeping. Bookmarks and my book of darts that I told you about. These are the bookmarks that I prefer. They're the little magnetic ones. Sam bought me this many years ago and I absolutely love it. And then he bought me this one recently for our 11th wedding anniversary. And then these are the physical books that I'm keeping. I think most of these will be donated once I have read them. There's only one that I know for definite that I'm keeping, and I'll show you that in a sec. So I've got two kind of dilemmas, but first, this is the book that I own that I will be keeping. Labyrinth. My husband bought this for me. I haven't even taken it out of the plastic yet because I'm just afraid to ruin it. I will eventually when I'm ready to kind of sit down and just devote hours and hours to diving into it. This is a keeper no matter what. And that leads me to my struggles. Okay, so books that I am going to donate. I have had an idea for a long time now. You know the little free libraries? I love them. I really want to have my own little free library. I want to build one out the front, and it will just be a neighborhood one. Like, it won't be one of the official ones or anything. The trouble that I've run into is that I've had this idea for a long time, and I have been saving all of my books. Instead of just donating them, I have been keeping them because I'm like, oh, when I get my little free library, I'll be popping those in there. So I have a bag full of books downstairs that are saved for that purpose. So that's something that's going to have to go on my silent to-do list. But my other dilemma then is basically what to do with this stuff. So the books that I'm keeping, so as you saw, I've been piling stuff up on this table, and I don't want to continue doing that because it becomes an eyesore for me. Hi doggy, come on, you can come in. You can come in. She's like sneaking up behind the camera. So yeah, I don't want to pile all these books back up on that table. So what I'm thinking is the dresser that I cleared out last time, you're gonna have to move. You're gonna have to move. Okay, down, careful. Oh, good girl, yes. It has one cupboard that is entirely empty and it's got shelves. So I think I'm actually going to use that because it's right beside this little chair, so my books will still be easily accessible to me, but they will be kind of hidden out of sight, so I won't have to have them just piled up higgledy-piggledy. Though obviously I can't do it now because I can't move because I got a puppy on me. I say puppy, she'll be 3 next month. Won't you? Yes, it's her birthday soon. And I also think puppy kind of indicates a small dog. She's definitely not a small dog. You're a 70-pounder, aren't you? Yes, you are. You think you can fit in Mama's lap, but you can't. Okay, let's try this books in the cupboard idea. Oh, my legs got dead. So there's very little on my silent to-do list and my future home list from this decluttering session, but I want to share them with you really quickly before I have that question that I want to ask you. But on my silent to-do list, the only thing here is to build/buy a little free library so that I can get rid of those books. And I think I'm going to have to put a time limit on it so that, like, if I don't do that by a certain stage, I'm just going to donate the books. Like, they just have to get out of here. And then for my future home, the only thing I added here was that I definitely want some form of a reading corner, and I would like it to have hidden book storage. I don't like a whole mass of books out, and I know myself, I'm going to end up with another pile of books. My question is then, I have finished obviously decluttering this entire room, and it's crazy. It's so weird to say that, but in a wonderful way. Like, this entire room is now cleared out, apart from like a few things belonging to my husband, and yeah, pretty much ready to go. There are still a few things in here that obviously, like the books, that will eventually also be gone, you know, once I read them or once I use up certain things. But if I had to call a moving company tomorrow, like if we had to move tomorrow, I would be able to say, yeah, everything in this room is definitely coming with me. There's no junk here, there's no clutter, it's only the stuff that right now I definitely want to keep. That's a lovely feeling. But anyway, the question is, obviously, you know that I have a pretty long silent to-do list just from this room alone. And like I said, I will be kind of using stuff up. I have made some tiny little tweaks and changes since the previous video. So for my next video, would you like me to actually do all of these silent to-do list items from this room and take you back over the spaces so that I can show you the little tweaks and changes that I've made? Would you like to see like another video that kind of officially rounds out this room? I'd like to give it a good deep clean as well. Do you have any interest in actually seeing all of that and seeing how the spaces are functioning now that I've actually been living with them for a little bit? Or are you ready for me to just move on to the next space, which will be the master bathroom? I mentioned at the outset that I was very resistant. Part of that was probably because I'm a perfectionist, and you know, once a job is done, then it's done. Like, it either has to be perfect or it's not done properly, and I felt that my expectations basically would not be met. I was worried that it would be a bit of an anticlimax for me and that I wouldn't be happy with the results. But I'm happy to say I am happy. Honestly, it sounds ridiculous, but I actually feel at peace. I know that's a strange thing to say, but it has brought me a lot of peace. And now all I want to do is read. I just want to sit down and read for the rest of the day, but I have to go grocery shopping. Ugh, being a grown-up sucks. Let me know which video you'd like to see next in this series, and until then, Carav Mila Magwev. August Peggy Miship Shikalua. Slán!